Today we're talking about 4 tips on how to get better audio in your videos. I'm gonna be talking about 2 different mics to use, where to place your mics when filming yourself, how to set proper audio levels, and how to EQ your voice to make it sound better. So let's jump into the video. The 2 mics that I will be using is the Tascam DR05 and a Boya lavalier mic. So first, let's listen to the sound coming from the Tascam. Today I'm going to be talking about 4 tips to improve your audio in your videos. Now let's listen to the sound coming only from the Boya lavalier mic. Today I'm going to be talking about 4 tips to improve your audio in your videos. Now let's listen to the Boya lavalier mic when plugged into the Tascam. Today I'm going to be talking about 4 tips to improve your audio in your videos. So let me know which mic you like the most down below in the comments. So the Tascam DR05 is an entry-level recorder, simply because of how easy it is to use, not because of the lack of professional sounding audio. The DR05 is small, lightweight and portable, so it's perfect for somebody who likes to record in various places. It doesn't have any XLR jacks like many of the higher-end multi-track recorders. You can either record directly into the built-in mics or you can plug in your external microphone via the 3.5mm headphone jack. The recorder's nice simplistic design shouldn't be too intimidating, even for an absolute first-time beginner. Right, so let me show you some of the settings that I use on my Tascam when recording audio for video. Format would be WAV 24-bit. So remember, WAV files are like RAW files, whereas MP3 files are like JPEGs. That would also mean that WAV files are much larger files, but they would give you the best sounding audio quality. The sample rate I put on 48K. So remember, when recording audio for video, you always want to record at 48K. 44.1 would work, but that's when you just want to record audio to listen to, not for video. Recording type I always put in mono. This would mean that the sound is coming from the center only. And I can almost guarantee you when recording audio for videos on YouTube, you would always want to have it in mono. So stereo would mean that the sound is coming both from the left and right mics. So if you lean a bit closer to the right hand side of your mic when recording in stereo, then the right mic would pick up more sound than your left mic. This is why I always keep my recorder on mono. Recording size I put on 2G. This is just to set it to the highest for the type of micro SD card that you have. Mic power I always leave on, because many times I do plug in an external recorder into my Tascam. Low cut I keep at 40 Hz. This cuts out the low frequency, so this means that 0 won't cut out anything. 40 Hz would cut out some and 80 Hz would cut out more. 40 Hz would be the sweet spot when recording audio for YouTube videos, since it would cut out more background and some of the street noise that's coming in. Now onto the proper levels when recording audio for YouTube videos. So you want to set your recording level to peak at -12 decibels and max -9 decibels. This is just to make sure that your audio won't peak while you are recording. And you don't want that, otherwise your audio would come out pretty bad, distorted, and you would hear a clipping sound. So always before you start recording, remember to double check your input levels and remember that sweet spot, -12 decibels and max -9 decibels. So onto the second mic that I also like to use, and this is a Boya lavalier mic. This mic does come in pretty cheap at only $30 and it sure does get the job done. You can simply plug the mic straight into your camera's microphone jack if you have one, and there you go. So also remember, when plugging a microphone into your camera, there are a few things that you would need to do before you press record. Switch your camera to manual settings and go to your camera's audio recording levels. And here you want to make sure to get an input level of between -12 decibels and max -9 decibels. But it's also going to depend on the type of camera that you have, and on my Sony I normally switch mine over to max -4 decibels. So always remember to monitor your input levels before you press that record button. Now on to setting up the mics when recording audio for your video. With any mic you want to get it as close as possible to your mouth, This is to avoid room echo and room reverb. You also want to make sure that all of your electrical appliances are switched off, and the biggest one for me is the aircon and the fridge. Another thing that I also like to do is to put a sponge mat on the floor. This helps to stop some echo that might spill up from the tile floors into my mic. The area where I'm recording is not sound treated and it is quite a big space. So as a last resort, I go around and place some pillows in the corners. And this method has worked really great so far. Now when you are recording with a lapel mic, always try to hide it under your shirt if you can do that. And an easy method to do this is to grab some tape and tape the lapel mic to your chest. Now let's jump into Davinci Resolve and open up our audio. Okay, so here we are in Davinci Resolve, and one of the first things that I would like to do is to check my audio levels. Today we're talking about 4 tips on how to get better audio in your videos. Okay, so what I'm going to do now is just to simply normalize the audio levels and put it on -3 decibels to make it a bit louder. Okay, so what you want to do now is to simply listen back to your audio and to see where your levels are hitting currently. For now, I'm going to go to the inspector and then I'm simply going to start dragging down the audio levels until it sits between -10 and -15 decibels. So next thing that I'm going to do is to add my music track. As I can see, the music track is way too loud, and what I'm going to do here is to once again open up the inspector and drag it down until the music track level reaches about -30 decibels. So just to recap here, audio 2 is my music track and I'm dragging it down to sit on -30 decibels, and audio 3, which is my voice, I'm dragged it down to be sitting on -10 decibels. So next thing that we're going to do is to simply EQ the voice to make it sound a bit better. As you can see here, the equalizer is open and currently we have a straight line. What I like to do is to select band 1 till band 6. Next thing that you want to do is to drag up all of the Q factors. So here I'm simply listening to my audio and I'm currently on band 1, just dragging to see where it sounds a bit better. So now I've dragged my frequencies and I've pulled out some higher end frequencies, those ones that just did not sound too nice. One thing that I also like to do is to up the gain on my equalizer, since when dragging it down you start to lose a bit of volume, so always keep that in mind. So next thing, I'm just opening up the compressor. I'm also going to drag up the makeup gain, because again, once you open up the compressor you will lose some audio. I'm also going to play around with the threshold until I see 4 to 6 bars coming from our gain reduction. Next, what you want to do is you can add a de-esser just to get those sharp S's out of your audio. And to do this, I put my amount on 100 and click the box to listen to the SS only. I would then move the frequency around to hear where those hard S's are. Then you simply want to de-click the listen to the SS only box and bring back your de-esser amount to 50%. Next, I'm just going to do some final tweaks on the mixer volume levels to make sure everything is sitting where I'm feeling comfortable with it. Today we're talking about 4 tips on how to get better audio in your videos. I'm gonna be talking about 2 different mics to use, where to place your mics when filming yourself, how to set proper audio levels, and how to EQ your voice to make it sound better. So one more thing that I like to do is to make my audio correct for YouTube, and I'll show you how to do this. Go to your settings wheel in the right hand corner and click on Fairlight. The target loudness level you want to add to -14 LUFS. And this is as YouTube recommended audio levels. You can click save and then you want to go to this wave tool and then you can click on index. Once you click index, you will see all of your tracks A1 to A3, and then you can see M1, which is your main audio. Then you can close your index, drag all the way down until you see main 1. Here you want to click on the loudness history. Now, important thing here is 0 would be your -14 threshold. So just keep that in mind. And you don't want to go over -14, otherwise YouTube would start to compress your audio. Now what you can do is you can click play and then you will see where your audio levels are sitting at. So let's just go through everything one more time to show you what I did to EQ my audio and to make it sound a bit better. Today we're talking about 4 tips on how to get better audio in your videos. I'm gonna be talking about 2 different mics to use, where to place your mics when filming yourself, how to set proper audio levels, and how to EQ your voice to make it sound better. So let's jump into the video. Thanks again for watching this video till the end. If you like this type of content, please remember to hit the like and subscribe button, and also remember to leave your comments down below. And as always, remember, stay creative.